Gist an chlár agus tabradán na cúntaithe agus fágad an chuideile fé Diarmaid Gizilín.
Anseo, barca grísóg inis, I 2008, clé ceannis na mún faoi fé héan, Tiberdarn agus an chlár cóscór, a gán ó méid in ann breise. Nuair a dairig leis an chlár, poc séir a aimsiú, bhí an cuma go nardóidh siad craobh na mún faoi fé héan don céadúir riamh. Go dtí gur tharla sé seo.
Nis tá gléite ag an muir cúlán de bhealach an barc an moltóir, ná bhí caint a chráma agus chúnspóid. Nach cén gnó nis tá an muir seo de Jason agus fiachar fearóg leise. Cén cíine. Tuc chuig bhéidir seasca an gur tháinig caiimiid seicinn tú cad is cúiste seo ach tá sugur go cúpla gáda timppla chun an fesan na húnla chun amach an muir cúil nis tá na dó géirig sé tá le ceannis na mún fe bblianas fithe búte den naobh díag ag Tiberdarn agus tá an muir tá duine tréis an muir cúil a únsaí an sunhíos.
When the referee started his long run back down, was the writing on the wall? Did you know what was going to happen?
I had a fair idea, yeah, because I know something similar happened in the first half. We had conceded a 65 with going outside the square. You know, you could see by the reaction of the umpire at the time that there was no budge in the move, and we tried to talk to him and clear it up. And I was actually trying to talk to the other umpire to talk to our decision, but there was no budging really.
Technically, you were outside the small square. Very tough call.
Yeah, I suppose it was a tough call. From looking at the instant, you'd probably say one leg is outside, and probably technically that's they're probably right in the decision, but I don't think there was any warning before the match either about stepping outside the square and really implementing the rule.
Christy, goalkeepers come out of the square quite regularly. It seemed a strange one that night.
Very strange, Dermot. The big thing with that rule is no consistency. I suppose the biggest one back in 2000 in the Donal Touhy stepped outside the square at a critical stage of the game, 8 minutes to go. I actually analysed that game afterwards. 48 puck-outs taken, there was only 2 definitively struck within the square, so no consistency. That's the big problem with the rule.
TG Carr covered the game that night. Tension was high down here. There was some ugly scenes after the game.
It was just the background at the time. It was the first time, and actually since '99, that outside of Kerry, Clare had actually won a Munster, under 21 or minor championship match. So it did poison the atmosphere, and I suppose there was Clare people probably wouldn't be proud of it now, but they booed the presentation, and it was absolutely devastating because, Clare needed that underage title at the time, and I suppose the manner in which it was probably taken away from Clare probably just stuck a knife into their ribs, really.
There was huge support from the fans after the game. How tough for you was it personally in the aftermath?
It was tough enough, I suppose, yeah. I was family-wise, it was nearly treated as a death because we were kind of getting phone calls and everything like that. So, but I think we realised we kind of given a good performance. I think that was the main thing from our point of view. I know we hadn't won the match, but we given a very good performance, and I think we had, we'd stood up to the teams like Cork and Tip, which hadn't been happening at underage levels.
Has the controversy been put to bed in the events that happened the following year? Was that justification in the end for you guys?
It was definitely a motivation that we needed to kick on, because maybe if we hadn't lost the final in that circumstance, we mightn't have kicked on, and maybe it was the bitterness that we needed for the following year, because we really kicked on. We won matches that we mightn't have won, so definitely helped us for the following year.
Weil gyda'n gyn cwnta yn clawr gasga yn blian dargion y bach na claf eilis yna iachas doch y ffeichan siarad sy'n ydw'r crwnchef hon crwmachar ddysg yn ynyn.
Wel, ni wain go'r Queen o fi, a'r Queen is Queen o caref me, mae yes o fi o wain nhw'n ahol eisiau sy'n agos fi andi mar gach ein agos dyn ar bwyla agos. Ond ffai bethau cwm yn lwc rhaid swed yn ar i'r yna. Yn reitor nir y fe yn tahi ag e. A cwn tahi oel, cahi se clihi môr oel. Cwn i'ch mar anol cene, se finŵr, se clihi le cenne si blina, leis an galef nôr a hwg o cat.